I watched my brother Easton pull into our driveway in his shiny new Corvette, the metallic blue paint gleaming under the afternoon sun. My heart wasn't racing from excitement, it was pounding with rage. That car was supposed to be my future, my college fund, my chance at something better. My name is Reagan, and this is the story of how my family's betrayal sparked a fire they never saw coming. "Isn't she beautiful?" Easton called out, patting the hood like it was a prized pet. Mom and Dad rushed out of the house, their faces lit up with pride. The same pride I'd never seen when I showed them my straight A's or scholarship applications. "It's perfect, honey," Mom gushed, circling the car. "The colour really brings out your eyes." I stood in the doorway, gripping the acceptance letter from State University that had arrived yesterday. The one I couldn't accept because my college fund had mysteriously vanished. "Reagan, come look at your brother's new car." Dad waved me over, beaming. "This is what hard work looks like." Hard work. Right. Because managing a vape shop part-time was apparently harder than my 3 jobs combined. "How exactly did you afford this?" I asked, my voice steady despite the trembling in my hands. Easton's smile faltered for a split second. "Oh, savings and stuff." "Savings and stuff," I repeated. "You mean my college fund?" The atmosphere shifted instantly. Mom's smile tightened. "Reagan, don't start this again. Your brother needed reliable transportation for his new job." "My college fund was reliable transportation to my future," my voice cracked. "We had an agreement. That money was for my education." "Plans change, sweetie," Dad said, avoiding my eyes. "Besides, community college is a perfectly good option. Your brother needs to maintain a certain image for his career." I laughed, but it came out more like a sob. "His career selling vapes? While I'm working 3 jobs trying to save up for school?" "That's enough," Mom snapped. "This attitude of yours needs to stop. Your brother has always known what he wanted in life. Maybe if you had his drive." "His drive?" I pulled out my acceptance letter, waving it in front of them. "I got in. Full tuition would have been covered by my fund, the fund you gave to him for a sports car." Easton leaned against his new toy, rolling his eyes. "Come on, sis, don't be dramatic. You can take out loans like everyone else." Everyone else didn't have their future stolen by their own family. I turned to my parents, searching their faces for any sign of remorse. There was none. "Reagan," Mom sighed. "Sometimes in life, we have to make sacrifices for family." Funny how I'm the only one ever sacrificing anything. I stormed back into the house, ignoring their calls. My phone buzzed, a text from my best friend Willow. "How'd it go? Did they confess?" I typed back, "Worse. They're proud of it." My hands shook as I dialed another number. After 2 rings, a familiar voice answered. "Silas, it's Reagan. Remember that part-time position you mentioned at the dealership? Is it still available?" "Yeah, starts next week. Why?" I watched through my window as my family continued admiring Easton's car, their laughter floating up like poison. "Because I'm done waiting for handouts. I'm going to build my own future and then—" I paused, a plan already forming in my mind. "Then I'm going to make them wish they'd believed in me." "That's pretty intense, kid," Silas said. "You sure about this?" They took everything from me and called it a sacrifice. I gripped my phone tighter. Now I'm going to show them what real sacrifice looks like. "When can I start?" "Monday, 9 a.m. sharp." "I'll be there." I ended the call and looked at my reflection in the window. The girl staring back wasn't the same one who'd woken up this morning hoping for an apology. She was someone stronger, someone who'd just discovered that revenge doesn't always wear a dark cloak. Sometimes it dresses in determination and wears a name tag. My phone buzzed again. "Willow. Want me to come over?" "No," I replied. "I need to start planning. This isn't over." Below, Easton revved his engine, showing off for our parents. The sound echoed through our quiet suburban street, but all I heard was opportunity. He thought he'd won, but he'd just handed me something far more valuable than money. He'd given me motivation. I pulled out a notebook and started writing. First step, survive community college. Second step, get that dealership job. Final step, make them regret ever choosing him over me. Game on, big brother. Game on. 3 months into my new routine, and I was running on coffee and spite. Community college during the day, dealership work with Silas in the afternoon, waitressing at night, and weekend shifts at the local bookstore. Sleep had become a luxury I couldn't afford. "You look like death warmed over," Willow said, sliding a fresh coffee across the dealership's breakroom table. "When's the last time you actually slept?" "Sleep is for people whose brothers didn't steal their future," I muttered, gulping down the coffee. "Besides, I'm close to having enough saved for next semester's books." Silas walked in, waving a paper. "Reagan, got something you might want to see." I reached for it, but he held it just out of reach. "Before I show you this, promise me you're not going to work yourself to death." "I promise nothing." I snatched the paper from his hand and started reading. My eyes widened. "The Maxwell Scholarship for Business Innovation." "Full ride to any university in the state," Silas nodded. "Plus living expenses. The dealership's been asked to sponsor this year's competition." Willow peered over my shoulder. "Holy shit, Rhea. This is exactly what you need." "There's more," Silas said, pulling out his phone. "Check your email. Just got the invite to the regional auto show. Your brother registered his precious Corvette." I nearly choked on my coffee. "The same show where they announced the scholarship winner?" "The very same." Silas smiled. "Funny how things work out, isn't it?" My mind was already racing with possibilities. "When are the scholarship interviews?" 2 weeks before the show." "But Reagan," Silas's voice turned serious, "this isn't just about getting back at your brother. This scholarship is legitimate. You'll need a solid business proposal." "I've got one," I said, pulling out my worn notebook. "Been working on it since day one here. A program connecting struggling students with affordable, reliable transportation." Willow grabbed the notebook, flipping through pages of calculations and plans. "This is actually really good. It should be. I've lived it." I checked my watch. "Shit, I'm late for my shift at Mario's." "About that," Silas interrupted, "I talked to the owner. We need someone full-time in sales. The pay's better than all your other jobs combined." I stared at him. "Are you serious?" "Dead serious. You've got a knack for this, kid. Plus, you'll have time to work on your scholarship application." My voice caught. Someone actually believing in me felt foreign. "Thank you, Silas." "Don't thank me yet. Jerry's waiting out front to start your training." "Jerry?" Willow perked up. "My brother Jerry?" "The one and only," Silas grinned. "Figured we could use an ex-mechanic teaching sales. Customers trust someone who knows cars inside and out." I gathered my things, mind already planning my next moves. "I need to call the restaurant and bookstore." "Already done," Willow said. "Told them you got a better offer. They say congratulations, by the way." Walking to the front, I found Jerry leaning against a display car. "Ready to learn how to sell dreams, Reagan?" "More than ready." I paused. "Hey, how much do you know about Corvettes?" "Everything there is to know." "Why?" "Because my brother's precious car is going to be at the auto show and I might need some expert insights." Jerry's eyes lit up with understanding. "Say no more. But first, let's teach you how to sell cars better than anyone in this city." The next few hours flew by as Jerry walked me through the ins and outs of sales. His knowledge was impressive, and I soaked up every detail like a sponge. That evening, as I was locking up, my phone buzzed. Mum's text read, "Family dinner Sunday. Easton's got big news." I typed back, "Can't. Working." Her response was immediate. "You're always working. Family should come first." I laughed out loud, drawing curious looks from passing customers. "Funny, that's not what you said when you gave away my college fund." No response. Typical. Willow appeared beside me. "Want to grab dinner? We can work on your scholarship application." "Actually," I said, "I need to make a few calls. The auto show's looking for sponsors, right?" "Reagan." Willow's tone was warning. "What are you planning?" I smiled, thinking about Easton's smug face when he took my future. "Let's just say, Big Brother's not the only one who can make an entrance. You're scary when you plot. You know that?" "Good." I said, dialing the number for the show's organizer, because this is just the beginning. As the phone rang, I watched the sunset reflect off the cars in the lot. Each one represented someone's dream. Soon I'd have mine back, and this time, no one would be able to take it away. The scholarship interview is at 10 a.m. and the auto show starts at 2 p.m., I explained, spreading papers across Jerry's garage workbench. That gives me exactly 3 hours to change and get everything in place. Jerry wiped his hands on a rag, studying the auto show layout. Easton's car will be in the main display area right here. He pointed to the center of the diagram. Prime spot for maximum embarrassment. Perfect, I smiled, but Willow looked concerned. Are you sure about this, Rhea? The scholarship should be your focus. Trust me, I've got the interview down cold. But this... I gestured to our plans. This is about more than just the money now. Speaking of money, Jerry interrupted, Lillian from the event committee called. They're thrilled about the dealership's sponsorship, especially the prize car for Best in Show. Silas really came through with that one, I said. Did you finish the inspection on Easton's car yesterday? Jerry's grin turned mischievous. Oh, yeah. Your brother's been cutting corners on maintenance. That beautiful engine of his? It's one hard acceleration away from serious problems. Problems that would be obvious to any real car enthusiast, I asked innocently. Crystal clear. Especially if someone were to, say, point them out during judging. Willow groaned. You two are evil geniuses. No, I corrected. We're just giving karma a little nudge. Pass me that event schedule. The garage door opened and Silas walked in carrying coffee and donuts. Plotting revenge before breakfast? That's dedication. More like finalizing details, I said, grabbing a coffee. Did you talk to the judges? Better. Silas pulled out his phone. I'm one of them. Turns out being the sponsor's representative has its perks. You didn't tell me that. I nearly spilled my coffee. Wanted it to be a surprise. But Reagan, his tone turned serious. Whatever happens at the show, your scholarship interview has to come first. It will. I've been practicing with Willow every night. Show them, Willow prompted. I straightened up, switching into presentation mode. My proposal addresses a critical gap in student transportation. By partnering with local dealerships and auto shops, we create a sustainable program that provides reliable vehicles to college students through affordable payment plans and maintenance education. Damn, Jerry whistled. You actually sound like you know what you're talking about. Because I do. I pulled out more documents. I've got market research, financial projections, and 3 local dealerships interested in piloting the program. Including ours, Silas added. The owner loves the idea. My phone buzzed, a text from Mom. Easton's practicing his acceptance speech for Best in Show. Wish you could be there to support him. They still don't know you're entering? Willow asked, reading over my shoulder. Nope, and they won't until the perfect moment. I showed them another paper. Look what I found in the show rules. Participants can register up until 1 hour before judging begins. Jerry laughed. Your brother's going to lose it when he sees you there. That's the plan, but first, I pulled out a folder labeled Maxwell Scholarship. Help me practice this interview one more time? For the next hour, they grilled me with questions. Each answer felt stronger than the last. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. It was about proving to myself that I could succeed, despite everything. One last thing, Jerry said as we wrapped up. I've been working on something special. He pulled a tarp off a car in the corner. Meet your show entry. My jaw dropped. It was a restored classic Mustang, gleaming in deep burgundy. Jerry, this is a real head-turner, he finished. Been restoring it in my spare time. The engine's perfect, the interior's immaculate, and best of all, it's got a story. One about determination and hard work. Just like its driver, Willow added softly. I ran my hand along the smooth paint. They won't know what hit them. That's the idea. Silas checked his watch. 2 weeks until showtime. Let's make them count. As we cleaned up the garage, I found myself staring at the Mustang. It represented everything I'd been fighting for: second chances, hard work, and the sweet taste of proving everyone wrong. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Easton. Mom says you're being difficult about family dinner. Again. When are you going to grow up? I typed back. Soon. Sooner than you think. What are you smiling about? Willow asked. Just thinking about how some people never see karma coming until it runs them over. I picked up my scholarship folder. Now, who's ready to help me practice this interview one more time? The garage filled with determined voices as we worked late into the night, each of us knowing that in 2 weeks everything would change. And this time, I'd be the one in the driver's seat. I can't believe you're missing Easton's big moment for a job interview, Mom said, stirring her coffee aggressively. I'd finally agreed to breakfast, mostly to keep suspicions low. He's been working so hard on his presentation. You mean the speech he's giving about a car he bought with my money? I kept my voice level, spreading jam on my toast. Besides, this interview is important. More important than family. The jam knife clattered against my plate. Funny how family only matters when it's about Easton. Dad lowered his newspaper. Reagan, that's not fair. Fair? I pulled out my phone, showing them my bank account. See these deposits? 3 jobs, Dad. That's what I've been doing while Easton practices his speech about hard work. At least he has goals, Mom snapped. All you do is work at that dealership and take community college classes. The doorbell rang, saving me from responding. Easton burst in, waving a paper. Guess who's favoured to win Best in Show? He sprawled across the couch. The judges already love my application. It's practically in the bag. Mom beamed. We never doubted you, honey. My phone buzzed. A text from Silas. First round interview results are in. Check your email. Excuse me, I muttered, stepping into the hallway. My hands shook as I opened the email. Congratulations. We are pleased to inform you that you have advanced to the final round of the Maxwell Scholarship Competition. Reagan? Dad called. Your brother's telling us about his plans for the winner's circle photo. I walked back in, tucking my phone away. Let them have their moment. Mine was coming. Oh, Reagan, Easton smirked. I forgot to ask. How's that reliable transportation working out for you? Bus running on time? Actually, I grabbed my keys. I need to go. Some of us have real work to do. Work? He laughed. Is that what you call selling used cars to desperate people? I paused at the door. You know what, Easton? Keep talking. It'll make it so much sweeter when... I caught myself. Never mind. Enjoy your speech practice. The drive to the dealership helped calm my nerves. Willow was waiting in the parking lot. Well? She demanded. Did you get in? I showed her the email. She squealed, pulling me into a hug. I knew it. How'd the family breakfast go? About as well as expected. I unlocked the office. But it doesn't matter. Everything's falling into place. Silas appeared in the doorway. Ready for some good news? The show organizer Lillian just confirmed your late registration. You're in. Perfect. I sat at my desk, pulling up the event details. Jerry finished the final touches on the Mustang? Better than that. Willow grinned. Show her, Silas. He handed me a glossy brochure. On the cover was the Mustang, photographed professionally under dramatic lighting. Is this the show's official program? Turn to page 3. There it was, a full-page feature on the mysterious last-minute entry. No driver named, just a stunning photo of the car and its specs. Lillian loves a good story, Silas explained. When I told her about a surprise entry that would shake things up, she was all in. My phone buzzed again. Easton. Mom's upset you left. Why do you always have to make everything about you? Says the guy who stole my college fund, I muttered. Focus, Willow said. Final interview prep tonight? Can't. Family dinner. Apparently I need to show more support for Easton's big moment. Silas leaned against my desk. You know, you could skip it. Stay focused on the scholarship. No, I said, gathering my things. I need to be there. Need to see their faces when they're gushing over him. It'll make next week so much better. That evening, I sat through another excruciating family dinner. Easton dominated the conversation with car show details, while Mom and Dad hung on every word. The judges are going to love the custom work I've done, he boasted. No one else will have anything like it. I bit my tongue, thinking of Jerry's immaculate restoration work on the Mustang. Reagan, Mum said sharply, your brother's talking about his big day. The least you could do is pay attention. Oh, I'm paying attention. I stood up. In fact, I can't wait for the show. It's going to be unforgettable. You're coming? Easton looked surprised. Thought you had that interview. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I grabbed my coat. Trust me, big brother. You're going to get exactly what you deserve. As I drove home, my phone lit up with a calendar reminder. 1 week until scholarship interview and show. 1 week until everything changed. 1 week until justice. I couldn't wait. The dealership wants to do what? I stared at Silas across his office desk, certain I'd misheard. Offer a brand new car to the best in show winner, he repeated, sliding the paperwork toward me. Owner's idea. Says your scholarship proposal impressed him so much he wants to go all in on the show. But that means, if you win, you get a new car. Silas grinned. If Easton wins, he gets one too. Either way, the publicity will be massive. I picked up the papers, scanning the details. This is a $50,000 vehicle. Yep. And look who gets to announce it at the show. My eyes widened. Me? You're our top salesperson now, Reagan. Makes sense for you to present the prize. The door burst open and Willow rushed in. Did you tell her about the car? Wait until you see what else we've got planned. She spread photos across the desk, professional shots of the Mustang, now wearing a special show finish that made it look like liquid metal under the lights. Jerry outdid himself, I breathed. That's not all, Willow said. Lillian called. They want the mystery entrant, that's you, to do a special presentation right before the final judging. My phone buzzed. Easton. Just saw the prize announcement. Guess I'll be winning 2 cars in 1 day. Maybe I'll let you wash them both. Perfect timing, I muttered, showing them the text. He has no idea I'm the one giving away that prize. Speaking of perfect timing, Silas checked his watch. The scholarship committee is here for your final interview prep. My stomach dropped. What? That's not until next week. Surprise practice round. He opened his door, revealing 3 people in business suits. They're doing courtesy run-throughs for all finalists. The next hour was intense. They grilled me on every aspect of my proposal, but I was ready. All those late nights practicing paid off. Impressive, the lead interviewer said afterward. Particularly your first-hand understanding of transportation barriers in education. Thank you, I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. It's something I'm passionate about. After they left, Willow hugged me. You crushed it. They loved you. Don't celebrate yet, I said, checking my phone. Still have to get through the real interview and the show. About that, Jerry appeared in the doorway covered in garage dust. Come see this. He led us to the service bay where Easton's Corvette was up on the lift. Routine pre-show inspection, Jerry explained. Look at this. He pointed to several spots under the car. Maintenance issues everywhere. Any serious car enthusiast would spot these instantly. And the judges are all serious car enthusiasts, Silas added. Exactly. Jerry lowered the lift. His pretty paint job won't hide these problems. My phone buzzed again. Mom this time. We're hosting a pre-show breakfast for Easton's big day. Be there or don't bother coming to the show. Unbelievable. Willow read over my shoulder. They still have no idea you're competing. Nope. And it's staying that way until the perfect moment. I turned to Jerry. The Mustang ready? Better than ready. It's going to steal the show. He wiped his hands. By the way, Lillian wants to review your presentation for the prize announcement. Says it needs to be memorable. Oh, it will be. I pulled out my notebook. I've been working on something special. We spent the next few hours finalizing every detail. The scholarship interview timing, the show entrance, the prize announcement. Everything had to be perfect. One more thing, Silas said as we wrapped up. The owner wanted you to have this early. He handed me an envelope. Inside was a contract. My hands shook as I read it. Is this full-time position, management track, starting after graduation? Silas smiled. Told you he was impressed with your proposal. But what if I don't win the scholarship? Read the fine print. Contract's valid regardless. He's betting on you, kid. I sat down hard, overwhelmed. All this time, I've been focused on proving them wrong. And instead, you proved yourself right, Willow finished. My phone lit up with another text from Easton. Mom's mad you haven't RSVP'd for my celebration breakfast. Stop being jealous and act like family for once. I looked at the contract, then at the Mustang gleaming under the garage lights, and finally at my friends, my real family, standing around me. Tell Mom I'll be there, I said, typing the response. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Now that's going to be a breakfast to remember, Jerry laughed. I signed the contract with steady hands. 1 week until everything changes. 1 week until justice, Willow corrected. No, I smiled, watching Jerry pull the cover over the Mustang. 1 week until victory. The scholarship interview room felt smaller than I remembered. 3 judges sat across from me, reviewing my proposal one last time. Ms. Reagan, the head judge leaned forward. Your program addresses a critical need in student transportation. But what inspired this specific solution? I took a deep breath. Personal experience. When my college fund was redirected, I learned firsthand how transportation barriers can derail education dreams. But I also learned that with the right support system, those barriers can be overcome. 45 minutes later, I emerged from the interview room to find Willow waiting. Well? She demanded. They said they'll announce the winner at the show. I checked my watch. Speaking of which, we need to move. Now. We raced to Jerry's garage, where he was doing final checks on the Mustang. Your chariot awaits, Princess of Payback. Everything ready at the show? I asked, changing into my presentation outfit. A crisp black suit that screamed, professional. Silas is already there, Willow confirmed. Your family's sitting front row, completely clueless. Easton's been bragging to everyone who'll listen. My phone buzzed. Mom, where are you? Easton's presentation is in an hour. Perfect timing, I smiled, sliding behind the Mustang's wheel. Let's go make some dreams come true. The convention center was packed when we arrived. Jerry helped me park the Mustang in its hidden spot while Willow scouted ahead. Easton's by his car, she reported back. Your parents are fawning over him. The judges start their rounds in 20 minutes. And the prize announcement? Right before final judging. Lillian says you're all set. I peeked around the corner. There was Easton, gesturing dramatically to his Corvette, while our parents nodded adoringly. The sight didn't hurt like it used to. Places everyone, Silas appeared, wearing his judge's badge. Reagan, you're up first. I straightened my jacket and walked out onto the show floor. Mom spotted me first. Reagan! Finally! Come see your brother's display. Actually, I smiled, I'm here on business. I held up my dealership badge. We're announcing a special prize today. Easton's face fell slightly. Wait, you're giving away the new car? They let you do that? Top salesperson gets the honor, I said sweetly. But first, the judges need to start their rounds. Dad, you might want to film this. The judges approached Easton's car first. I watched as Jerry, now in his mechanic's coveralls, pointed out each maintenance issue he'd documented. Easton's confident smile cracked with each revelation. These problems are concerning, one judge said, making notes, especially for a show car. But the paint job, Easton started. Doesn't make up for poor maintenance, Jerry finished. Shall we move on to the mystery entry? The crowd followed the judges to where Willow was removing the cover from the Mustang. Gasps filled the air as the pristine restoration was revealed. Now this, Jerry announced, is craftsmanship. Who's the owner? Someone called out. I stepped forward. That would be me. The look on my family's faces was priceless. Mom's coffee cup actually slipped from her hand. Impossible, Easton sputtered. You can't afford... Actually, Silas interrupted. Reagan here has quite the talent for both cars and business. Speaking of which... He nodded to Lillian. She handed me the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce our show winners, we have a special presentation. Reagan? I took center stage, facing the crowd. Today we're not just celebrating cars, we're celebrating determination, hard work, and the power of second chances. That's why I'm honoured to announce that the winner of Best in Show will receive a brand new vehicle from our dealership. Applause erupted. I wasn't done. But there's one more announcement. I turned to where the scholarship committee had appeared. Would the head of the Maxwell Scholarship Committee please join me? Mom grabbed Dad's arm. The what? The head judge took the microphone. After careful consideration of all candidates, we're pleased to announce this year's full-ride scholarship recipient, Reagan. The crowd cheered. Easton's face had gone from red to white. Mom and Dad stood frozen. A scholarship funded, ironically, I couldn't resist adding, by the same amount as my original college fund. Cameras flashed as I shook hands with the committee. Lillian stepped forward with the show results. And now for our Best in Show winner. I caught Easton's eye across the room. He looked small suddenly, standing next to his shiny car with its hidden flaws. The winner, with a perfect score from all judges, the 1967 Mustang, restored by Jerry Murphy and owned by Reagan. The convention center erupted. Through the chaos, I saw my parents trying to process everything. Easton had disappeared. Willow hugged me tight. How does victory taste? I looked at my scholarship certificate, then at my beautiful Mustang, and finally at my real family, Willow, Jerry, and Silas, beaming with pride. Better than revenge, I answered. So much better than revenge. The aftermath of the show was a blur of cameras, congratulations, and questions. Local reporters swarmed around, eager to cover the story of the underdog winner who'd also secured a prestigious scholarship. Reagan! A reporter thrust a microphone toward me. How does it feel to make history as both Best in Show winner and Maxwell Scholar? Before I could answer, Mom pushed through the crowd. Reagan, we need to talk. Now. Actually, Lillian stepped in smoothly. We need Reagan for the official winner's photos. Family pictures can wait. I caught a glimpse of Easton slumped in a corner, Dad trying to console him as Lillian led me away. You didn't tell me about the scholarship angle, she said, positioning me next to the Mustang. That made for quite the story. Speaking of stories, a woman in a sharp blazer approached, press badge glinting. I'm from the Tribune. We'd love to feature you in our Sunday edition. From setback to success, a story of determination. I looked at Willow, who nodded encouragingly. Yes, I'd like that. Perfect. Let's start with how you managed to keep this all secret. Before I could respond, Easton stormed over. You did this on purpose. You planned this whole thing to humiliate me. No, I said calmly, aware of the reporters watching. I did this to prove something to myself. Your humiliation was just a bonus. A bonus? He laughed bitterly. You stole my moment. Like you stole my college fund? The words rang out clearly in the sudden quiet. Phones appeared, recording. Tell me, Easton, how does it feel to have something important taken from you? That was different. You're right, I cut him off. It was different, because while you took my money for a car you couldn't even maintain properly, I worked 3 jobs, earned a scholarship, and built something real. Reagan, Mom tried again. Please, let's discuss this privately. Why? I turned to face her. You never wanted to discuss it privately before. In fact, you never wanted to discuss it at all. The reporter was scribbling frantically. Silas appeared at my side. The dealership owner would like a photo with both cars, the winning Mustang and the prize vehicle you'll be presenting. Of course. I smiled at my family. Excuse me, I have some actual work to do. As I walked away, I heard the reporter asking Easton about the maintenance issues the judges had found. His stammered responses faded into the background. The next hour was a whirlwind of photos, interviews, and congratulations. The dealership owner announced my promotion to management publicly, adding another layer to the story. Finally, things quieted down. I found myself alone with my Mustang, running my hand along its perfect finish. You okay? Willow appeared with coffee. Better than okay. I took the cup. Just processing. We'll process quickly. The Tribune wants to do the interview at the dealership. Something about where it all began. Reagan. Dad's voice made us both turn. He stood awkwardly, hands in pockets. Can we talk? Willow squeezed my arm and stepped away. Talk about what, Dad? How you let Easton steal my future? Or how you never once stood up for me? About how I failed you. His voice cracked. Watching you today, seeing everything you've accomplished. I've never been more proud or more ashamed. Proud? I laughed. Now you're proud. I should have been proud all along. He pulled something from his pocket, an old photo of me at 16, washing my first car. You always knew what you wanted. I didn't listen. Before I could respond, Jerry called out, Reagan, the photographer needs you for one last shot. Go, Dad said softly. You've earned your moment. As I walked away, Mom intercepted me. We should have believed in you. Yes, I said simply. You should have. The photographer positioned me between the Mustang and the prize car, Silas and Jerry on either side, Willow in front. Perfect, the photographer said. The winning team. The real family, I corrected, loud enough for Mom to hear. Later, as the crowd thinned, Lillian handed me a stack of business cards. You've got offers for interviews, speaking engagements, and mentoring opportunities. Seems people love a redemption story. It's not about redemption, I said, watching Easton load his Corvette onto a trailer, defeat in every movement. It's about justice. No, Silas joined us. It's about growth. Look how far you've come. My phone buzzed. The Tribune reporter. Ready when you are. This story's going to inspire a lot of people. I looked around at my support system. Willow's fierce loyalty, Jerry's skilled guidance, Silas's unwavering faith, and smiled. Yes, I typed back. I'm ready to tell my story. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting ahead and never looking back. The Tribune article changed everything. My phone hadn't stopped ringing since it hit the Sunday paper. Local news stations, radio shows, and even a national magazine wanted to feature the story. Your inbox is exploding, Willow said, scrolling through my emails. 3 more dealerships want to implement your student transportation program. I was arranging papers on my new desk, management office, the door plaque read, when someone knocked. Come in. Easton stood in the doorway, looking smaller than I remembered. Hey. If you'll hear about the Corvette's maintenance issues. I sold it. He stepped inside, hands shoved in pockets. Used the money to enroll in community college. I set down my papers. What? The article. It made me think. About choices. Consequences. He pulled out a folded newspaper. You said something here that hit home. Success isn't about what you're given. It's about what you're willing to work for. Easton, let me finish. Please. He sat down. I was awful to you, entitled selfish. When Mom and Dad offered me your college fund, I didn't even hesitate. I just took it, like I took everything else. The office door opened again. Mom and Dad walked in. We all need to talk, Dad said. As a family. I have a meeting in 20 minutes, I warned. This won't take long. Mom placed an envelope on my desk. It's everything we gave to Easton, plus interest. We've been blind, Reagan. Terrible parents. Money doesn't fix this. We know, Dad said. But it's a start. The rest? He gestured to my office, the dealership beyond. The rest you've already fixed yourself. My phone buzzed. Silas. Student transport program meeting in 5. Bringing the big guns. I have to go, I stood up. But thank you, for acknowledging it at least. Wait, Easton reached into his bag. I brought something else. He pulled out a course catalogue. The automotive management program. I thought, maybe you could help me figure it out. Before I could respond, Willow burst in. Reagan, the investors are here early. I looked at my family. Really looked at them. Mum's hopeful eyes, Dad's nervous smile, Easton's humbled posture. Then at my office, my achievement, my victory. Sunday dinners, I said finally. We start over with Sunday dinners. And Easton? I picked up the course catalogue. Come by tomorrow. We'll talk about your classes. The relief on their faces was palpable. As they left, Silas entered with a group of suited executives. Ready to change the game? He asked. More than ready. I grabbed my presentation materials. Willow, can you reschedule my afternoon? There's something I need to do after this. Already done. Jerry's waiting at the garage. The meeting flew by, the investors immediately seeing the potential in the student transport program. As they filed out congratulating me, Silas hung back. You're different today, he observed. Lighter. Revenge weighs more than forgiveness, I said. I'm ready to let it go. At Jerry's garage, the Mustang sat gleaming. But next to it was something unexpected, a beaten-up Honda with a student driver sticker. First participant in your program, Jerry grinned. Full of potential, just needs some love. Like another car, I remember. And another person, Willow added. My phone buzzed one last time. Easton. Thank you for the second chance. I typed back. Thank you for earning it. Looking at the Honda, I saw myself. All the struggle, determination, and triumph. But now I could also see beyond my own story. Jerry, I said, teach me everything you know about fixing cars. Why? You're management now. Because sometimes people need more than just a program or a policy. I touched the Honda's hood. Sometimes they need someone who understands the journey. Willow hugged me suddenly. Look at you, turning revenge into revolution. Not revenge, I smiled. Evolution, for all of us. Silas appeared in the garage doorway. Ready to change some lives? I looked around at my chosen family, then thought of my healing real one. At the Mustang that proved my worth, and the Honda that would help prove someone else's. You know what? I am. Because sometimes the best endings aren't about winning or losing. They're about finding the strength to build something new from the wreckage of what was lost. And maybe, just maybe, helping others do the same. All right, I clapped my hands. Let's get to work. We've got futures to build. And this time, everyone was invited to the journey.